Good afternoon, this is Matthew Lindsay with Precision Home Group here in Anchorage. Coming to you today to talk to you about property management. It's what we're spending all week on, talking about different types of property management. Today, we are talking about the 4 responsibilities of a property manager. So we're going to dive into that. The first responsibility is going to be knowing how to set the rent. Okay, there's a lot of different things involved in this, but the rental rates, knowing how to set them competitively, how to get people into that vacant unit is going to be the first responsibility. So knowing the market rent, because they have that company, the property manager works for a company, and that property management company has multiple units in that area that they can understand the rental market. Okay, that's going to be huge. You need to be able to understand what's going on in that market. You need to know the market vacancy. You need to know what the market rent is. If you don't have a good handle on this, you're not going to be able to set the proper rental rate for your unit. And what's going to happen is, 2 things. 1, you're either going to have it too high, you're not going to be able to rent it, or 2, you're going to fill it really fast, and you could have gotten more for the landlord, for the owner of that property, right? So not knowing the market rent is going to definitely hurt you by either A, having a vacancy, or B, you're going to leave money on the table. Now I know a lot of people, a lot of landowners say, oh, I'll just check Craigslist. I'll just check Zillow. I'll just check all these different places. Now that gives you a good idea of what's available on the market, but it doesn't tell you what those units actually rented for, what they closed at, because what's left on the market, what's left on Craigslist and Zillow on these places, it's the things that are active, and those actually haven't accepted, a lease on their buildings. So that's something to keep in mind when you're looking at your own building, at your own properties, is to actually understand what closed in your area, what actually rented. So the first responsibility is knowing and setting your rent. So that also goes into collecting that rent, knowing late fees and all that kind of stuff. So someone's going to go in, know how to do that, go in and do the action of collecting that and setting up those leases. The second responsibility is going to be the maintenance and repairs of the property. There's a lot that goes into the maintenance and repair of a building. Now this is going to be exterior of the building itself. It's going to be the big CapEx expenditures for those buildings, managing a calendar to actually take care of the building itself. Here in Alaska, everything from snow plowing on the exterior, ice damming, taking care of stuff like that, making sure ice melts and all that is taken care of. In the summers, that's landscaping, cleaning out gutters. You're going to build out an annual calendar for your property to check all the different systems of the building itself, interior and exterior. So this is also going to fall into some of those late night emergency maintenance or repair items needed that your tenants are going to call you on. So you as a landlord, instead of you getting the call for the plumbing, the toilet that's overflowing, right? Any of these issues going in these emergencies, that's going to be the property management that's going to be taken care of. So maintenance and repairs, a vast variety of things going on. You have the big expenditures like we were talking about, and we have the last minute emergency maintenance repair requests. Number 3, so the first one was knowing how to set your rent. Number 2 was the maintenance and repairs. Number 3 is the Landlord-Tenant Act and laws, keeping you in compliance. This is huge. Property management, if they don't do anything else, they are there to protect you from lawsuits and making sure that you are safe from all those different lawsuits. They're going to make sure that your leases are legal. They're going to make sure that you don't have illegal terms in there. They're going to make sure that when advertising your units, that you are making sure that you are legal in that you are within compliance, that you aren't advertising it something that you don't even know of but could be illegal just due to the Landlord-Tenant Act. So they're going to make sure that you are protected through everything. When to post notices on doors, right? We got to make sure that we have a certain amount of time before you enter a occupied unit. So when is that? When do you have to post those notices? How do you collect late payments? How much can you collect for those late fees for someone who pays late? You know, all these things are spelled out in that landlord-tenant law, and if you aren't sure what it says and you don't know what to do, and you aren't protected by a property management company that you can go to and say, hey, you know, talk about these individual things, then you aren't protected. So number 1 was know and set your rent. Number 2 was the repairs and maintenance. Number 3 was keeping you in compliance with the Landlord-Tenant Act, and making sure you're compliant with all the laws that you need to be. Number 4 is the big one, running it like a business. A lot of people, who own single-family homes, a condo, a duplex, triplex, residential, multifamily, any of those. You know, the big thing is you have to run it as a business. And so they're going to do that. They're going to walk in and say, hey, this is the budget for certain items. This is what we spend for all the expenses. This is what management costs. This is what this costs. This is what rent coming in is and any additional income. So they're going to go over all your income and expenses, letting you know what's going on, and they are going to treat it like a business, because owning a rental property, a income property, is a business and should be treated as such. When it's not, that is when they fail. So they're going to treat it like a business. They're going to run it as so, making sure that you're within those budgets, helping you with taxes, all these different things. They are there to help you make more money. Now, a lot of people say that property management costs too much, you know, and that they can't afford it, that they're charging an arm and a leg. There may be some companies out there that do charge excessive fees, but the industry as a whole does not. They are there to help you protect your assets. They are there to help you manage it and run it like a business. It is not the property management companies. It is not their fault if you don't have margins to pay for a property manager. At that point, you got to do all of those tasks, all of those things yourself. Now, if you are over leveraged or your property doesn't have margins, that's something to consider, and I can definitely help you with that, help you get out of that and into a property that does have margins. So I'd love to talk to you about that. Give me a call at 907-302-1011. These have been the 4 responsibilities of a property manager. Now, some property management companies offer full service, some offer limited service. There's different packages available. So definitely talk to the property management company that you are and see what kind of packages are available, what prices they offer, and they can go into specifics for you. They can cover everything we talked about. They can cover one responsibility. So that's definitely something to look into. Thank you for joining us today. I really appreciate you being a part of Precision Home Group, a part of our videos that we do here every day. If you want any more content, go check out our YouTube channel. We're going to post that below in the comments section. Go join and subscribe. Thank you for joining.